Hi, Bailey. This is Marion. Hey, we're going to go on an adventure today. We're going to go to the Chinese garden because it's such a beautiful sunny day. As we walk towards the gardens, we see the huge magnolia trees in bloom. They're starting to lose their blossoms, but they're beautiful just the same. And then as we walk in, I really don't know what this plant is. It almost looks like a hydrangea to me, but I don't think it's a hydrangea. And then we see the beautiful light yellow camellia, so ready for spring, so lovely to look at. And we walk through the garden entrance, and we see how the garden has grown up in the last 10 years. The sculptures that the Chinese made, and more flowers to look at, beautiful pink flowers. And I'm not sure what this flower is either. I'm sure you can probably tell me. I love this little plant that seems as if they're trying to train it to be a bonsai plant. Beautiful little pink flowers and the green leaves just starting to bud out. There's Forsythia. I actually planted Forsythia at the beach. I don't think it likes the beach very much, but it certainly is happy in this garden. Just the happiness of those yellow blossoms. I love the architecture of the Chinese houses, the openness of them, and the grace. And another camellia. This time bright pink, but you know what? This might not be a this might be a peony. I'm just not sure. And the cherry blossoms. They're already starting to fade and the trees are starting to leaf out. I love these little man-made bridges that they've made over the water. Not very many fish up here today. I'm not sure what this plant is either. I'm wondering if it's something called a Chinese lantern plant because they look like little Chinese lanterns. Just imagine this beautiful park in a city block. Who would have thought that we could have transformed a city block into a huge water feature? Planted huge trees that provide shade and serenity for the people who visit there. Love the shape of this little fir tree. If only I knew how to shape my trees so they'd look like that. Gary came with me, spouting his Trailblazer jacket. And my picture, too, just to show you that I was there. I should have taken off my sunglasses. Look at that weeping willow tree. So beautiful this time of the year, the pale green leaves. So we walked across this little bridge. We could have gone to the tea garden. Wouldn't it have been fun to sit there and had a cup of tea or two and a small treat? I love the time that you and my mom and I went. And I think that we did have tea and some treats. Look at this cute little teapot and cups. Wouldn't it be fun to sit in the garden and drink tea from there? And look at the beautiful blue sky this afternoon. I like these lions I wish that I could have one in my yard. And Gary and I walked towards the riverfront. I love this Portland Bridge. I think this is the steel bridge, but I could be wrong. More cherry trees, but the blossoms have already reached their peak and we can spot the leaves turning green. Another shot of the bridge. I think this is the best shot I've ever gotten. And I've always loved the Oregon Convention Center. I love those two peaks reaching to the sky. And the cherry trees again. We even caught a glance of one of the cruise ships on the river. Wouldn't it be fun to be on that cruise ship today? Such beautiful weather. Watching the world go by. And there is some ugliness in Portland, the graffiti that's taken away from the beauty. And then we drive up to the Pittock Mansion, standing in all its glory. Notice the beautiful blue sky. And as I look towards the distance, I saw a glance of Mount St. Helens. Another view of the Pittock Mansion. What would it have been like to have lived there? I'm so glad that the mansion was saved from ruin, that the city of Portland took over. And we look at the beautiful grounds started by a gardener many years ago. And another beautiful cherry tree. The people loving to sit underneath it and picnic under the bright blue skies. The city of Portland in all of its glory. I thought I couldn't see Mount Hood today, but then I look again carefully and I see Mount Hood in the distance. Because it's hazy, it's really hard to see. As I was walking back, I noticed the beautiful yellowish coloring of this fir tree. I might be wrong, it's probably a pine. I think this plant is a snow blossom. Look at how the blossom has turned away from the sun. And here is the gatehouse. This is where the groundskeeper lived. I read that it was a 2,400 square foot house, and it was an addition to his salary. I would have loved to have been there. I could have been a groundskeeper. I would have loved that view every single morning. These blossoms are white. I'm wondering if these are apple blossoms. Love the intricacy of those blossoms. So, Bailey, I hope you've enjoyed this walk with me today. And it's been always nice to have you as the friend who I could call, who was always ready to go on an adventure with me. You have been a true blessing to me and a wonderful friend. And here's another plant. I just don't know what that is. I love the blue of the flowers. And the trilliums are favorites. And a woman and I stood talking about this beautiful shrub. I think it's a camellia because of the waxy green leaves and the pretty red flowers. And I think it blooms in the winter time and in this time of the year. Things to research, things to do. Always something ahead to look forward to. And so, my friend, I hope you've liked our journey today. See you later. Goodbye.